Getting high on the camera.
I am, yeah. Guys.
Hello, Rob. Don't know where to look because you're up there with the cameras there. We're doing lots of stuff this week. We have Loop DLC, so I'll be continuing with the Seasons DLC, getting that as far along as we can, and then you'll be working on the...
I'm doing the 1980s DLC for
1980s
Voxel,
DLC.
and Rob's doing something in this room.
Painting the walls and Xbox stuff as well for Hexy.
Yep.
So me and Kim had a very busy weekend getting all of the painting done for this like sort of feature wall in the office. Very cool. There are a couple of touch-ups that we need to do. These shelves need another coat of paint and all that. I think the windowsills look alright, so maybe they'll be fine, but these need another coat of paint, and there's a few little areas, I know there's some over here, that just need a bit of touching up, so like little areas like that. And some more around the corner as well. Just need a little bit of touching up, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And yeah, we'll try and get everyone into this office by the end of the day. So I've sort of moved all of the supplies and things over into this corner, since this is a corner that we're not going to really use that much. And then I've just sort of been like moving all the stuff out of this area. I'm going to peel up all of this plastic that we've got. It's got like lots of holes in and stuff like that, just from people like knocking it with their feet and things like that. So just going to chuck it. We've got plenty more of it. We've got like a big roll of it there. And then we've got the big wad of masking tape and things like that. Going to get that all moved over, and then we're going to see what the crack is with the desks. Yeah, just to show off a little bit of the work I did over the weekend. So all of the undersides of the desks have been sprayed with anti-mold spray. There are a few little dots of mold markings that I just wanted to get rid of. Here's an example here.
Disgusting!
Yeah, just to sort of hide, like, protect them. It looked old and stuff like that, so it's fine, but it's just stuff from the old office we don't want to carry over. Installed all of the legs apart from one, because I think we've been using the legs for like to keep the plastic down and close to the wall, so we'll leave that one desk. And yeah, the other thing that we need to put up today is the whiteboard. So I was looking at how this goes up, because it's got like a hinge in it, but it looks like it's got like 4 screws in the corners, or 4 holes for screws anyway, and it came with some stuff to do to apply it to the wall. So yeah, we'll have a go at that. Fingers crossed it looks alright. Yeah, so cleaning everything up, and I'm just defeated by these flipping things. So they've got like little hooks and they detach, and somehow it's just a tangled mess, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'll work it out, but it's a lot more effort than I was really hoping for at this point. We're so close. Alright, so the plan is, I've got some of the desks in here. The plan is for Lee and Jack to be sort of sat this side of the office, just against the walls. I was saying that I quite like having access to a window to cool down, because I run a lot hotter than those two, but it should be fine, whatever. I'll be somewhere over here. The desk layout is still TBD, but I'm about to try and work it out. The idea of me being over this side of the office is, one, if I'm working on dev kits, it's less visible to the public, because those things are under NDA and things like that. And also when we're doing sprint planning, it means I can cast it from my PC and sort of be in the meeting room already, to sort of like manage tasks and Trello and things like that. The TV though, the TV stand is much bigger than we thought. So when I was doing the room planning, we sort of had it against this wall, and then we could have like the sofa around here, the new sofa that we've got. But the stand's just massive, so I don't know. we'll see. It might still be all right over there, but then I'm gonna have to move all this stuff, and yeah, we'll see. All right, I think we are pretty much moved in. Well, these two guys are anyway. I still need to sort out my PC from last week. I bought some thermal paste to have a look at the CPU temperature on that. Tomorrow's problem now. I really don't want to be messing around with stuff like that at the end of the day. Then yeah, we've got the whiteboard set up, so it wouldn't be TOS Labs without a sketchy whiteboard. So we've screwed it into the wall, but I don't want to touch it. But yeah, basically it's not secured very well. Long story short, the bottom screws are in fine, but these wall plugs. What's falling over there? Oh dear. yeah, the wall plugs that we were used to secure them to the wall just sort of went into the wall and fell somewhere. So yeah, but yeah, we've got whiteboard again. That's really cool. Alright, so for those of you who haven't watched last week's devlog, I've been having some computer issues. So the temperature of my CPU has been going through the roof, and it basically means that it's been throttling down a lot and the PC is just barely becoming usable every now and then. So I'm taking the heatsink off. It's sort of like this water-cooled self-contained thing, which tend to break a lot actually. So I'm going to stop buying them. Yeah, I'm going to put some new thermal paste on the pad there just to see if that helps. It looks like the thermal paste is a bit old and well, there isn't that much of it, so fingers crossed this should just fix it. I've got some thermal paste here. If this doesn't work, then I'm probably just going to get a new cooling system altogether. But yeah, the cheap option first. Yes, okay, so I've got the thermal paste on and it all seems to be looking really good. Look at all these temperatures. Ooh, super low, very low actually. I haven't really I was expecting a bit higher than that, but nowhere near 100 degrees, and you can see here that the speed of the actual CPU is running at a normal speed now. It's not throttling down at all, so fingers crossed this should really help me out and I won't have to deal with any slow PC issues for the foreseeable future.
Okay, so I'm cracking on with the 1980s DLC today, as usual, and you can see here I'm getting through quite a lot of them now. I think I'm on image 16, I believe, and this one's a nice one, a nice suggestion from the community here, which is shoulder pads. Haven't really done them yet in terms of like fashion in the book yet, and I think it looks really good. It sort of gives me like a sort of retro game look. I think it's only 5 colours. I try to keep it quite minimal, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it. It gives me like a sort of Blade Runner-esque look to it. I'm not sure why. Something about it is making me think Blade Runner, but I'm not sure what it is. But overall, I quite like it. And as for now, I'm working on a boombox. This one was a bit hard to do because the boombox was actually invented in the 70s, but obviously it was popularised in the 80s. So I've had a good suggestion of just doing a model that came out in the 80s, and this is the, how am I going to say this? The GVC RC M90. Apparently it's one of the most popular ones that was designed in the 80s, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm sure they'll put an image of it, the actual one, on screen. It's looking pretty close, I think.
A quick update. I spent a lot of today doing a lot of scheduling posts. So we have like the Easter event starting tomorrow, the extravaganza, so that's all scheduled. Some stuff from Nintendo, and some updates about the pricing change as well from Steam. If you're interested, check that out. But other than that, I've been working on Wooloop, so making more progress on the Seasons DLC. Basically, I think I've shown off these 3 images here, but I've got 2 more. I'm trying to keep the size bigger this time, because last time they were overall too small. I think I already mentioned that, but yeah, we've got the daffodils image here for spring. Quite like the way this turned out. I sort of combined 2 images, one of a watering can and of daffodils. I quite like the way that's looking. And then I've just done this slightly smaller one, and this beach volleyball for summer. And yeah, just 2 simple ones for now, and then I'm going to start making my way through the rest of these and getting as far ahead as I can.
Okay, yeah, so I've been working on getting all of Jack's assets into game, sort of making this extravaganza event. You can see in the corner there's some bunnies which I've animated. So there are a few different bunnies, each with different animations. They've all got the same hopping type of thing, but they've all got, wow, that one's worshipping a bit of broken egg. Yeah, just thought it would add a bit of movement and a bit more playfulness to the scene. So I think we'll just do this instead of like a particle effect that we normally do. And yeah, quite pleased with it. You can see them a little bit better in the scene view. It's not very complex animation, but I give it a go. That one's just up and down. Oh no, it's not.
Okay, so something that I completely forgot to mention was I actually finished off the 1980s DLC yesterday. I'm really happy with this DLC, quite a lot of large images in there. For a matter of fact, yesterday I meant to finish off the last 2 images with the smaller ones, as I said, they've all been quite large, but Lee did suggest doing a live aid photo, and I thought that would make a great sort of finale image, so I would get that one built in. And yeah, it definitely took a while. I think I was telling you that the crowd itself took about an hour and a half, so just doing this bit down here took an hour and a half, but the rest of it was actually quite okay. It's quite blocky, so it was nice to fill in, and it was a nice image to finish off the DLC with, should I say. But as for now, I'm back onto voxel art. As you can see here, the zoo DLC is coming on quite well. I'm really happy with the sort of art style that I've got going here, but I'm really not happy with the sort of layout. So this morning I've sort of been trying to rebuild the sort of like the center part, you could say. So I'm trying to mesh around the different enclosures to try and make it a bit more satisfying. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of take a bit of realism away from it and just enclose these paths a little bit more. It might make obviously the paths going through the enclosure a bit more tighter, but it gives me a lot more room to actually build things. So I'm going to do that. It'll take a little while. As you can see here, I've already done the sort of the hippo and rhino section here, but I need to finish off the lion section and the section here. So I think I'll do that on stream. But as you can see here, the last section, I think I'm going to do some drafts. There'll be a nice tall bit to do, and then if I've still got a bit more voxel count to work with, I may do some things in the sky. We'll see how it goes, but as for now, I'm going to get on stream and see if I can finish off this section here and maybe finish off the lion section as well.
Okay, so today I've actually managed to get a chance to program, which has been really good. It's been too long. So basically just working on Wooloop, trying to get a couple of last minute fixes done for the gamepad controls that we weren't able to quite do for the last update. So one of them was, if I play the game, yes, that's it. The tutorial on this scene wasn't working at all. There was no bar at the bottom giving you the controls, and the inputs weren't working, but that is all working now. You can see it's all green and eggy because the extravaganza event is on, which is quite cool. I did have to sort of change the positioning of this white bar because that was slightly off, but yeah, that's just a graphical glitch. A couple of other things with controllers though. So if you go to the delete save option here, then you can see the bar at the bottom is visible there now as well, and also the same with the New Game Plus. So that's really good, that's all working. And then there was a bug with one of the settings that I managed to fix as well, so that's really good. But yeah, the tutorial was the main reason why we don't have any Steam Deck support at the moment, so I've sent that off again. Another thing that they mentioned in the report was that they don't like that some of these settings are synced. So basically the way that we do our syncing with Cloud Save is every setting in game and accessibility tabs are synced across various devices. So if you change something like dark mode, for example, that's one of the ones that they mentioned. We like to sync that across devices, but they said that that's a display setting, so it shouldn't. But I tried to explain that we categorize as everything in the display tab doesn't get synced across devices. But fingers crossed, they'll be fine with that. Yeah, that's all been sent off though, and fingers crossed they'll get back to us with some good news.
Yeah, another day of Wooloop. I spent a decent bit of time on this level here. It's getting a bit larger than I expected, but the end result is quite nice. There's a couple of fixes I need to do to it, so I'll quickly get those done. And then once those fixes are put in place, I will push this level to source tree, and that'll be ready to be QA'd as well.
Okay, so I've just wrapped up the stream for today, and you can see here we got a lot more progress done. I've essentially finished off this entire back section here. It may not look like a lot, but however on the stream we decided to add a little meerkat cave in here, which you can't really see yet. I suppose I can quickly go in here and sort of just open it up real quick. So let's get rid of these creatures at the top here, and we'll just cut into this real quick. There we go. There you go, you can see here. You see little meerkats have a little hidey hole down here. We thought we were going to do a little sort of dirt tunnels at first, and then I thought we'd just make a full-on little sort of Hobbit house down here, a little sort of Lord of the Rings sort of Bilbo looking house. It looks really nice. Obviously the meerkats don't have much detail in them. However, Bob did suggest that we could make some shape sizes for the heads different, and add some little eyes as well. So they should look pretty good once the actual level and world is out. But as now they do look like little wooden stumps, but I'm sure they'll look better once I've added some shaders and some materials in Unity. But yeah, as for now, I'm going to crack on and build some more stuff. I need to finish off this section, which I think I'm going to put a tiger in here. Obviously, I know again, doesn't really make much sense, sort of these creatures cohabitating with each other, but I think having, a tiger will be okay. We've got some herbivores here, we've got some carnivores in here. So yeah, that look pretty good. So I'm going to crack on this now and see how far I get. Lee, Rob!
Hello.
It's Thursday, actually.
Yeah.
Short week.
Bank holiday. Thanks, bank holiday, long weekend, so we're back on Tuesday. But as of this video coming out, we have the 1980s DLC for Corner Pixel that Jack's finished up. So make sure you check that out. That'll be available now. And then we have the Zoo DLC for Coloring Voxels, which is still in progress right now, but that'll be available next week. So
it's looking good though.
The store page is live. Make sure you wishlist that if you're interested. And then we have a Seasons DLC for Wooloop that is again also in progress. So check out that store page here as well.
Yeah, make sure you have a good Easter. Yeah.
How nice Easter.
I bought Kim a kilogram of mini eggs.
I wouldn't want to look at the size of that's cheating.
Oh, they're the same weight.
It's a kilogram.
Oh,
She was not happy with me, and it cost like 20 quid. So
good way to spend a weekend though.